Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to look into events. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code to understand this concept. So in our earlier session, we have seen that how to select the elements within the DOM using query selector and various mechanisms. Along with that, we have also seen that how to apply styles dynamically using the JavaScript code. So now what I feel that it is right time to introduce the concept of event. So the concept of event is mainly related to the actions. So in a more layman term, I can say that if any user visiting a web page, so for example, if you are visiting Google site and there you are writing some search query and then you are pressing the enter. So that is your action which you are performing on the web page of Google. Once Google will take your query and then it will return the response according to your request. So entering the search query to the text box is one event. Once you entered it, and pressing the enter key is one of the events. As well as after entering the search query, clicking the search glass icon is one event. So whatever the mode of event, a user takes certain actions performed with that event. So in this session, we are going to look into click event. We will understand that how to handle the click event whenever a button is being clicked, how we can capture that event and perform the required task. So to understand the concept of events, I'm going to use the following setup. So we are having an index.html. Along with that, we are also having a style.css where we are having a li element styled with max width, padding, margin, background and border. And for event handling, we are going to write the event in this JS file, which is being attached with index.html. So overall, our HTML document look like this, where we have three li element and we are having a button. Whenever I will click a button, a one new item will be added, and this list we are calling it as a fruit bowl. So to add this functionality, it required three steps. So step one, we need to grab the reference of the element where the event will happen. So in this scenario, this add more button is that element. So the step 2 is add the event listener to the element, and event listener actively listen the user events on the specific element. And the step 3 is we need to write a callback function that will be fired whenever the event got triggered. So in this example, whenever user click on the button, that callback function gets fired. So let's write all these steps into the code. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code. So the step 1 is write const grab the button with the help of document dot query selector, and the thing which we want to grab is the button. So we need to specify button over here, save it. Now the step 2 is add the event listener which keep on listening the event which is been triggered by user. So how we can do that? We need to tell button dot add event listener. So there are a lot of event available. I will give you the reference of that. For this example, we are going to use the click event. So we need to specify the click over here. So this will actively listen the click event on this button. And there is second argument, that is the callback function which we need to specify. So whenever this event is get triggered, so this function gets executed and it will perform the respective task. So let's add the callback function in the form of arrow function. So we need to specify over here. So we can console log something. So here we can tell that a new fruit which is being added to the console, not to the UI. UI we will handle later. So for this now, so you can add peach over here. Let's look into that, whether it is adding the peach into the console. So let's jump into the browser. So now here you need to click on F12. So it will open the console, and now we need to click on this button, add more. Then we will find that it has added the peach into the console. So that means this button is triggering the event and it is being listened by event listener, and then the callback function is being triggered. So now let's proceed further. So now let's make some meaningful program over here. So what we will do, we will add a text box over here, and where we can enter the fruit name, and once we click on add more button, then it will be appended to this particular list. So let's do it. So first we need to go inside the index.html, and over here we will add a text box. So how we can add the text box? We need to add an input field which is of type text, and here we need to specify the ID, and the ID is going to be, we will tell it ID equal to text fruit. Save it. Now we have added the text box. Let's look into that. So here you will find that we have added the text box. Now let's proceed further. So let's write the callback function. Let's update it. So how we are going to do that? So what we need to first grab the UL element. So how we can do that? We need to specify UL, and we need to grab the document dot query selector. As we are having a single UL element, so we can grab with the UL tag, so it will give us the reference of the UL tag. After that, we need to grab the reference of the text box. So how we can do it? That we need to specify const text new fruit, and over here we need to tell that document dot get element by ID. We need to grab with the get element by ID, as we have specified over here. If you look into that, we have specified text fruit. Take this one, come over here, and here we need to specify the reference of it, so that we can grab the value of this text box, and then we will append to the li element. So now we need to create the HTML element for li. So how we can do that? We need to specify an object for li, and here we need to create with the help of document.createElement. There is a method called createElement, and where we need to specify what element we want to create within the DOM. So we want li element to be created, and we need to set the attribute. What attribute we want to set? We need to tell set attribute, and what attribute? The ID. We need to create an ID for that, and for that we need to specify the value. So what value we want to specify over here? We will tell that text new fruit dot value, and after that what we need to do? We need to append this to li element. So let's do that. Li dot append child. We need to take the append child, and within that we need to create the text nodes. So for that we need to write document dot create text node, and then we need to specify the value. What value we want? We want that text new fruit. Here we have made the spelling mistake. New fruit dot value, and after that, once we have done with this, we need to add this li element to the ul, as li is exist within the ul. So we need to specify ul dot append child, and within that we need to pass this li element. So that's it. So now we will go to the browser and see the output along with the action. So now we specify over here banana, and then we need to click on this button. It should be added over here. So let's do it, and then you will find that it is being appended to this list. So this way you can easily handle the event. So let's proceed further. So prior to wrapping up the session, I wanted to let you know about what are the things which we have learned in this. So we have seen that how to grab the reference of the target element where we want to apply the event. Once we grab the reference, then we have to add the event listener so that it will listen to this click event. And once the event is being executed, so this callback function gets executed. And within that, what we have done, we have taken the reference of the UL element, and after that we have also inserted a input field over here. So, and we have provided the ID as well, and then we have taken the value of that input field, and after that we have created an element on the fly in the runtime called li element. The another new code which we have seen over here is the append child. With the help of this, we are appending node, and after that append the li tag within the ul tag. So this is what I wanted to demonstrate you in this session. So on this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.